Okay, y'all, it's that time of year again. Yeah, that's right, Christmas is just around the corner, which means that a lot of you guys gotta start spending money on people. Now, chances are this video is not being watched by one of my regular subscribers, this video is mostly made to the moms that are trying to buy stuff for their sons and daughters that are into cars. That's you, make sure you give me a thumbs up, I'm kinda desperate at this point. So, yeah, basically what this list is what I found to be probably the best gifts for car guys and car girls under $100. Timestamps in the description, so be sure to press those to skip my talking. By the way, for any of you guys that are wondering why I didn't post a video last week, it's because I've been super loaded down with school and stuff. You know, it's the end of the semester. Teachers that haven't been doing their job, they're kind of cramming stuff together, so I gotta catch up on a lot of that. No joke, I had to write a 130-page script last week. I barely had time to take a dump. Also, last video actually did really good, what apparently you guys appreciate when I talk like a crackhead. So this video is gonna kind of be off the cuff too. These lists are in no particular order. Let's do it. The first one can be kind of hit or miss. You just got to really know the person that you're getting it for. The Lego Speed Champions line. If your car guy is anything like me, you know, I love Legos. I started off with Legos, then I moved on to cars, which is basically just bigger Legos. And Legos actually come up with some really cool stuff this year. Now, the reason why I specify with the Speed Champions is because they got a huge array of cars for like between 20 and 30 bucks. Now, obviously, there's much more detailed ones like the Porsche, the Bugatti, but those are all in like 200, 300 rounds. But yeah, the Speed Champions are basically a bunch of iconic cars. You know, there's one for each taste. If you have a son or daughter that loves imports, you got Porsche, you got Land Rover. If you like some muscle, you got Challenger, you got the Demon, you got all that kind of stuff. It's a fun little gift, a little stocking stuffer for anyone in your life that loves cars and loves Legos at the same time. I have a couple. Oh man, do I even have them with me? No, I left them at home. Okay, yeah, I have the one with the Dodge Demon and the classic Charger, and actually it's really cool to just mess around with on your desk. It only took me like 15-20 minutes to build them, and they make ultimately a really good model. So if they're looking to dress up the room a little bit, maybe consider one of these. All right, next up is for some of you guys that have a son or daughter that plays a lot of video games, specifically games like Forza, Need for Speed. Man, is Burnout even still a series? I played that all the time when I was a kid. What you want to get for some of these people are video game controller steering wheels. Now, some of these can be super expensive, and trust me, I'm gonna understand if you don't want to go that far. But what I have is actually something that my mother got for me a couple years ago. It's the Thrustmaster. What is it called? The Thrustmaster Ferrari 458 Spider. Thrustmaster Ferrari 458 Spider. You know what? It's steering wheel. It's a fun steering wheel, and it's actually really good input. Now, this is kind of pushing the $100 thing because it's $99. So after tax, it's gonna be slightly over, but you know, it still technically fits, and it's a really good, it's the cheaper version for anyone that's looking for that kind of thing. I personally used the Thrustmaster. The Thrustmaster is a lot of fun. There's a little bit of a learning curve to using it because it's not on a stand or anything. You just set it on a table and there's pedals that connect to it. When I first started steering with it, I would pick up the wheel and move the whole thing. But once you learn to sit down, force your thumbs down into the, my chair just cracked. I'm not that fat, am I? You sit down, you just hold your wheel down, and then eventually you get used to kind of holding it down as you drive. It made my time a lot better because it lets you have a lot more minute input than you just can't get from a controller. It's a perfect balance between I want a steering wheel controller, but I don't want to break the bank for it. It's still expensive, but it's really worth it if they play a lot of racing video games. All right, next up, this is very heavily dependent on where you are and how your county is reacting to COVID. Obviously, California, you probably can't do this, but a really good gift is just tickets to go-kart racing. You know, this is really good for people of any age. You know, when I was younger, there was a place called Boomers. I don't know if it's widespread. There was a place called Boomers, and they had some pretty quick go-karts. Like, we topped out at around 20-25 miles an hour, and it only cost you like $30-40 to get in. Now, go-karts pretty self-explanatory. You get to stomp the pedal, and you get to just take off and race your friends. I guarantee you, no matter what their main interest in cars in, be it mechanics, be it all that kind of stuff, they're going to enjoy this because it's tales old as time, man. You just sit in the car and you floor it. It's going to make you have a ton of fun. Just don't be like me and start doing donuts in the middle because I got kicked out because it did that. Really not much else to say about that, so let's go on to the next one. Okay, so this one is for the car guy or car girl that gets themselves into trouble every now and then. Now, if you're like me, there is nothing more fun than punching the pedal on your car and going as fast as humanly possible. What I think is a really good buy, once again a little bit more on the expensive side, but it's worth it in the long run because you'll save on speeding tickets. We have a Cobra Rad 350 laser radar detector. Now, something that I have to tell you guys, be very careful about. There are certain states where it is illegal to have a radar detector. Now, California, for all the weird stuff that goes on and all the stuff they don't allow. For some reason, radar detectors are completely okay. I've double checked the laws on this multiple times. But yeah, no, a radar detector, basically what it does is it lets you know when there's police radar scanning in the area. You know, so you know when to take your foot off the gas. Now this thing is very useful if you have someone that gets a lot of tickets. Now the reason why I went with the Cobra Rad 350 is because it's the perfect mix between, you know, it gets the job done, but it doesn't cost like $400. This thing only costs 79 bucks. Now, that's still pretty steep, yes. But once again, it's very dependent on how many tickets they get, because I'd rather buy a radar detector than a ticket. Be very careful to double check your state's laws about this. I don't want anyone to get locked up because of a video I made on YouTube. Okay, now I'm going to be honest, this one breaks the rule of $100, but not by a ton. It's one of those expensive things where you really got to care about someone beforehand. I'm talking about the Air Selfie, man, this is a long name. The Air Selfie AIR PIX portable pocket-sized 12MP HD flying camera. Basically, what it does is it allows you to take video and pictures of your car from as if you had a drone. Now, this thing is $119. If you have somebody that's really into photography or just getting into photography and loves to make their car look good on a wall, then this is probably a really good gift to get them that'll pay for it in years to come. I've met so many people that want drone pictures and footage of their car. And if you give them this, chances are you'll be letting them make a cool extra $100 every now and then. It's definitely one of the most, it's definitely probably the most expensive thing on this list, but I guarantee you if they really love car photography, it is 100% worth it. Now this thing's actually pretty good. Now this thing actually isn't half bad because you can actually control it with your smartphone, which means you can actually line up the shot from the ground. And from the pictures that I've seen, it actually takes pretty high quality footage. So for the car photographer in your life, definitely consider this thing. This next one is really big for any of you people that know a guy with a box. This isn't even just a gift for car guys, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, this is more expensive. This is $119 also, but the reason why I bring it up is because it's so useful to a lot of car owners, especially classic car owners like me, because our cars are always breaking down. What this is a 3-in-1 portable jump kit. What that means is you charge it overnight, then you hook it up to your battery when your car's dead, turn it on, and you turn on your car, and it jumps it for you. Now it's not just a one-time use. You can charge it up over and over again. It's a really good idea for someone that's breaking down on the regular. Heck, I think I even want one of these. These are getting really good reviews and they'd be really useful because I constantly have to jump my car. All right, next up is kind of for the clean freaks out there, including myself. Now, if you know somebody that has a show car and they like to drive it around, but it still gets dirty because, you know, you're stepping on the outside world and you're stepping on your car carpet and it's just a big pain in the butt. A good thing to buy them is a portable vacuum. Now, without breaking the bank, it's at around $34, and it's honestly as simple as plugging it into the cigarette lighter and then just dragging it on the floor. Getting one of these, I'm not gonna lie, is actually a really good idea because what I do currently is I just drive to the car wash, act like I got a car wash, and then park next to one of those vacuum things. House vacuums just don't have the suckage that I need. So overall, for the clean freak car guy in your life, it's definitely worth a buy. All right, this one is for pretty much anyone that likes to be a little techie, as the kids say. Gosh, I sound old. We have the Echo Auto. If you already have an Amazon Echo at home, this is the perfect gift to complement it. Basically, what it does is it's an Echo that you put in your car. That's all it is, and it's got an easy mount. It's very small, and it costs about $50. Now, granted, it's a little bit more on the expensive side for sure, but if you have somebody that constantly uses an Echo in their life, this is the gift for them. Also, it's really cool because you get to be like Knight Rider. You get to say, hey, car, do this, do that, you know. The only problem is it doesn't have the snarky attitude of Kit, so.
That is not a fire hydrant, you flea-ridden furball. Scoot.
I really hope that one day that we can make a GPS that has Kit's snarky attitude. Next up, and this is for anyone that's really into engine building like I am, probably a little model of the engine. It's, depending on your engine, it can be very difficult to find a model. If you have a 350 or a 454 or any of those old-fashioned Chevy big or small blocks, really easy to find. For this one right here that I have, this is honestly a really cool one that I actually would really consider getting. It's $62 plus 10 shipping, and it's the Revell 858883 1/4 size visible V8 engine plastic model kit. Wow, that's a mouthful. 12-inch multicolored. Yeah, not a very good title. Basically, what it is an X-ray of an engine. So basically, there's a little crank in the back that you can turn, and you can see the pistons moving. You can see the crankshaft going, you can see the rocker arms going up and down. It's actually really cool. So if somebody in your life really loves mechanical stuff, this is not a bad gift to get for them. Honestly, if you know somebody that wants to get into mechanics, this X-ray thing probably shows it off pretty well. So I highly recommend it if someone wants to get into it and wants to know how an engine works. All right, and last but not least, and this honestly is my personal favorite, and depending if you already have a good picture or not, then you kind of gotta, well, you'll see. Basically, get a canvas print or a poster of their car. Now, this is very dependent if they have good pictures of the car. Obviously, I'm just talking about the cost of getting the canvas print or getting the poster. That's less than $100. If you need to go out and get a photographer to take some professional looking photos of your vehicle, then it's obviously going to cost a lot more than $100. But if they have the picture that they already love, go ahead and get that custom made. Actually, I have my email listed down below. If you want me to make a canvas print of your car, send me a picture. I'll put it up on my Redbubble. That way you can just buy it. I love doing that kind of stuff for people. Plus, I get money out of it. So, gotta afford this vehicle addiction somehow. Honestly, just having a big poster of your car and all that kind of stuff is a whole, it gives you a sense of pride in it. And honestly, a canvas print just takes that even further. So that about wraps up all the gifts that I think are great for car guys this year. Obviously, you know your car guy or car girl better than I do. You know them better. If you think they won't like anything on this list, you don't have to get it for them. I just think personally across the board, this is a pretty decent list to go by. So yeah, that about wraps it up. I hope you guys have a great day. My Patreon, special thanks to my patrons, or patron, JC Squared, you the man. If you guys want to donate to the patron, even $1 helps me out. I think I'm actually going to start posting exclusive content there. You know what I mean? You can also vote on what videos I do in the future. You can do all that stuff. Basically, my channel's in your hands if you're a patron. I also have a merch store listed down below. Be sure to check that out. That's a lot of fun. I made a few fun designs I think you guys will appreciate. Yeah, that about wraps things up. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.